Hello, everyone. My name is Jonna Bateman. Tonight we are doing a late night episode of relationship advice, and we're going to start it off. And this is very interesting to me because I never heard this before. But why do men hate virgins? So, why do men hate virgins? I don't necessarily think that men, especially all men, hate virgins. I just think that the men who are sexually active want who they want and when they want it. Like a man who is a virgin is most likely not going to hate another virgin, right? It's the man who is not a virgin and wants to have sex with a woman, but he may not be used to getting turned down, so he might feel like this woman feels like she's better than him because she won't give her body up to him like most women who may be used to giving their body up. So this man might just be upset at the fact that he cannot use that woman's body for enjoyment in the way that he wants to, so he may feel rejected, and a lot of men don't really like rejection. So I don't necessarily think men hate virgins. They just want to have sex with you and mad that you are not gonna have sex with them. They just don't like that you have standards. Um, the second question is, this is interesting. Why does my fiance like to go online and talk to girls? Um, what makes him do that? And what is a sign for his doings? I don't know if she means what is his that Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. I don't know if she's talking about what sign is that. But let me get to the first question. Why does my fiance like to go online and talk to girls? Um I'm not sure why he likes doing that. He might not be satisfied with you. Um the only reason someone else, or he's talking to someone else, is because he wants more that you may not be able to give him. And another question you may want to think about is, why is he still your fiance? Why are you willing to marry somebody who's clearly saying that you are not enough for me? If you were enough for him, he would not be online talking to other women. And then what makes him do that? Like I said, you may not be enough for him. He wants more and you're not able to give all of that, so he's going to try to seek it from someone else. But I definitely think that you should drop that relationship, because if you're allowing him to do that, he's going to continue to do that, and you're just going to be upset within the whole relationship. The third question is, how do you know when you found the one? So, you know, that question, um, let me answer it like this. Do you know what you want in a man, right? Everybody's not going to be perfect, but do you know what you want in a man? Um, and if you have tests for this man, and I think that everybody should have tests that someone should be able to pass or fail so they can see if this person is showing red flags or not. If he's passing your test, if you are ready for that relationship, if he's passing your test, um, if you have a list, I'm not going to say have a drastic list, but if he pretty much like, just to say, you want someone who's honest, you want someone who has good hygiene, you may want someone who has the same religious beliefs as you, and you may want someone who's financially responsible. um, let's just say if your list is like that, and he marks all of those off, and you all have great chemistry, and you've spoken to his family, and his family is able to advocate that he is a pretty good person. I'm not going to necessarily say that that's the one for you, but that might be a good option. I think that we all have different options, because everyone's not going to be perfect, and they're not going to be able to mark off everything on our list. So just be able to have options. This man may he may be really nice, he might be very generous, He might have never abused a woman. He might be a college graduate, but he may be very irresponsible with money. He may be a gambler, and it doesn't mean that he doesn't make money, but he loses it very quickly as well. So you just might want to figure out, what are your deal breakers? What are some things that you will not compromise on? If you know that the man has to be faithful, you might want to ask him about his past relationships. And what mental state was he in if he was unfaithful? Has he changed? I would definitely recommend that you spend time with this person, because sometimes we don't really know what the one is for, or who the one is for us, because we're continuing to develop into a better person. So, who the one may have been for you at 23 years old may not be the same person who's the one when you turn 35 years old. So, you just want to make sure that you guys are aligning when it comes to the path that you're going to take in life. Is he someone who is wanting to continue his growth? Is he someone who's very ambitious? Is he someone who is taking responsibility for his actions, for his life? And like I said, is he someone who is financially responsible? Is he someone who wants children? Do you want children? And then you also have to make sure that you line up to some things that he likes. Like I've heard men say, "Well, she has potential." You don't necessarily always want to marry potential, especially if you haven't necessarily sought God on that. Sometimes you will marry potential if you sought God on that. But look, that's something that you need to talk to God about. Who is the one for me? Who is the one for me? And make sure that you don't ignore when God is telling you, I don't know if he's going to tell you this is not the one for you, but he's going to show you red flags. He's going to show you things that you may not approve of. And he's going to show the guy things that he may not approve of. But are you going to let your emotions intertwine with logic, or overpower logic? If you love this man so much, but you know that he is not faithful, but you're just so emotionally entwined, are you going to let your emotions override your intellect? Um, so I just think you have to be able to listen to your own to your own gut, as well as consult with God, and just make sure you have a list, boundaries, some things that he will be, some tests that he will be able to pass or fail, so that you can know that you know he's up to par, he's up to my standards, and I'm ready to be married, if that's what you mean when you're saying the one. But I think that question is very are going to have a very broad answer, because, like I said, the one for you who was the one when you were 23 may not be the one for you when you turn 35 and you realize that he's not growing at the same rate. So, always seek God, and just really make sure that you are communicating and becoming in a relationship with someone who is an advocate for growth within their character. Really, as long as someone is willing to grow in their character, like, because we're all immature in some way, but as long as we're with someone who takes responsibility for their own actions and is willing to grow and develop in their character, we can't necessarily always go wrong with that. That should be a good border to have. Are you willing to grow?